The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Tablet and pen always. Why? I need you to take notes. I need you to think. All right. And please don't say think out of the box. All right. Because that's just people that just, I don't know. It's like scratching the chalkboard. When the person says, thank God it's Friday or, hump day and think out of the box. Every time I hear someone say that, I think in the back of my mind, it's loser, loser, loser. You see, we don't care what day it is as long as we can pay our bills and we don't have that stress on our backs. The goal is going after a true, what they want to call an entrepreneur. All right. The bottom line is to give labels to certain things, and it's like silly things, but live. Now, I called it, and I want you to write down auto income. Auto income, what it did for me. And I want to show you exactly what I did for myself, how to get to million to billion. Okay. And that's the ultimate goal. When I got that $100 million building, the $1 million Lamborghini, these are the things we get to do. But again, the true thing, the ultimate goal as we basically get to play the game. Now it's live always. All classes I can't stand pre-recorded. All right. I want it to be live all the time. And that's the goal. There's no pictures. There's no recording. Why? I need you to put it here. At the end of the day, you have some problems. Your problem, all right, if you can handle it, I'm going to say it's you. You're your biggest problem, okay? The lack of knowledge on things. So we're going to start from the basics. Understand here's a corporation with division process. Now, the other thing is I want you to write down subsidiary. You say you want to get the American dream. If we're in an audience live, my first question would be, who wants to be a millionaire? Raise your hand if you want to be a millionaire. Go ahead. I'd be calling you that silly and dumb. No one ever made $1 million and got to keep it. And the bottom line we have to understand is rules and tools, what you're trying to accomplish in your goal. I want you to think about auto income. Okay, I want you to think about a corporation with division process. Division process. I need you to understand you're going to have an old crap day. Now, my wife asked me to basically quit saying the old SHIT day. Okay, honey, no problem. All right, so the old crap day, no problem. All right, because the bottom line is when your wife requests something, you have to honor what she requests. So we all have an old crap day. We do, it's terrible. Now, I want you to think about your banks. I want you to think about your cities and your grocery stores. See, your problem is you don't know how to play the game, and the bottom line is business is a game. So we look at a Bank of America. Now, Bank of America shut down 5,000 locations so far. They're doing another 600 locations this year. Your banks are closing down locations on purpose because they don't need the location anymore in the cash flow, free up their time kind of thing. Now, remember, your banks bought Zelle, all right, in 2022. So when we look at Chase Bank, we look at Wells Fargo, we look at basically US Bank. So here's banks. They have a parent company. and they have a branch. The branch is called a subsidiary. That corp owns these corps. So that means when they make a business decision, they bankrupt the hell out of it, and then they suck out all the money and the assets. And they write it on their taxes. We, the people, you bring the pain home from the lack of knowledge. So we have to play. Now, Sam's Club, Walmart, same thing. We look at Geico. We look at cities. So we have to understand several things. All right. If we're going to position correctly, you got to quit bringing the pain home. And that's all you've done so far. I would guarantee every one of you been ripped off by a friend and family member, spent thousands in crap that didn't work. And then what did you do? You jacked up your credit. You dropped your score, got stuck, couldn't get it anymore. And then you hawked your house. What did happen? You brought the pain home. I don't understand. You see, I'm this kind of person that wants to tear apart things. I want to know how it works. I remember as a little kid living on 181st Street in Torrance. The lady had a Singer sewing machine. Always complained about it. So what did I do when she wasn't around? I tore it apart. I put the motor on my skateboard. If you ever look in the daily news, all right, back in basically in the time, or they take a picture of a little kid on a skateboard with a motor on it. That was me. So that's the kind of thing I've always done. I look behind the curtain. I got dropped off Redondo Beach Pier. What did I get to do? Be known as boy. Come clean out the chum bucket. Take out my trash. So let's understand. You bring the pain home because of your lack of knowledge. And the reality is you have to learn how to play the game and win. So as we look at this, you become a certified CFO. Now, what would that do for you? So understand, listening to me, that's okay. But what can I do for you and get you to millionaire, to billionaire? Do you want to do that? But I'm not going to do it for you personally. It's your corporation. It's the division process. It's never you. I want you to break even the rest of your life. I want you to break even. I want you to reprogram your brain to millionaire status. I want you to play the game and win. And Will, you have a question? Just type it. I see your hand up. Just type the question. That's all you got to do. Now, the bottom line for me is when I was a little kid being dropped off at the pier, Redondo Beach Pier, every morning at 6:30 by Mrs. Hope, the she-devil from hell. Because I got born in a taxi and she threw me in a trash can, which kind of sucks. So what happened is she wrote down that window and she'd always say, if you're not here at 5 o'clock, I'm going to leave you there to die. Wasn't she sweet? She-devil from hell. Mrs. Hope, the Richard family's Hope family, using and abusing the kids, saying that she's helping people. Yeah, right. So let's understand, what did I do? I looked at Marina Del Rey, Torrance Rocks, Palos Verdes. Below Palos Verdes is called Rat Beach, R-A-T, Rat Beach. I looked and I grabbed the magazines. Every time I looked at a magazine of rich and famous people and how they get their money. So I've been studying rich and famous people since I was a kid because I knew I was as smart as they were. I wanted my money too. So as we do this, think about it. Today, how old are you? You look at your past, present, and future. All right, your past is who you are today. And how many of you had this up and down screw up all the time? You brought the pain home. If we could master rules and tools and get some discipline, guess what we get to do? Get the American dream. So what you're going to have to do is make sure you're willing to fight for what you want. It's not easy. Heck, I was in the 6th grade writing both hands, talking at the same time. They told me I was retarded. All right, now I taught myself how to read at 2.5 years old, but I didn't teach myself how to spell. In other words, I have total recall on most things. So I kept saying, what is this word? What is this word? By the time I asked those questions, being a pest, I learned how to read everything I had in front of me. Then I had to go back and learn how to spell it. That kind of screwed me up a little bit. So understand, if you're not willing to fight, you're just wasting your time. Maybe you're going to be that employee that starts a business to be your own employee. And that's like a friggin' joke. I mean, you change your job to be your own employee. Now you have it all on your back. And then most people fail in the first 2 years anyway. I don't understand that. But if you're willing to fight for what you want, you got a choice. Now, business. Let's understand, you have to position this right. Your friends and family, some of them ripped you off. You don't trust anybody. That sucks. So what do we do when you start a business? Well, A, they might knock you off the cliff. They might not catch you. They might have to breathe or die. Are you willing to fight for it? There's the difference. All right. But again, it's up to you. We're going to focus on chapter 18. You see this in front of you? Chapter 18. What does it say? Let me circle it for you. A corporation is a legal person. Now, all these silly people, attorneys, CPAs, selling corporations, going blah, 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 blah. When they sue the corp, they sue you, by the way. A corporation does not protect you, all right, in the beginning. What it does is makes you a friggin' duck. The only thing a corporation does is how you receive money. Tax ID. Da, 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 da. No tax is due to your profitable. There's the goal. Now, I'm 7.5 years old at a poker game in the corner listening to Mrs. Hope, all right, the she-devil of hell, and I'm writing my notes. What do we get to do? So I wrote it down. Now, I went to the Torrance Library next to the Torrance Police Department. See, we didn't have these things back then, okay? So I had to research all the time. So what was the ultimate goal? I went to the library next to the Torrance Police Department. I can see it in my head that same day. And that lady, I said, ma'am, what does this mean? She wasn't nice to me. She said nothing. She walked away 5 minutes later. Here's a mocker face. Here's a bah. She was and that's what she was. I was wasting her time. Here's a kid, 7.5 years old, asking what does a corporation legal person mean? She gave me a book. You read the book too. Good for you. See, your problem is you because you're not at millionaire status. Now, I don't understand this, okay? Understand for me, all right? I got that skateboard, that was fine. When we went to basically Disneyland at Ellison Elementary, the bus driver went with us on the rides. They let him join. You see, when we got after that day, nobody took and remember where they parked the damn bus. Is it in Dumbo or Pluto or Ding Dong? Who is it? It took them 2 hours to figure out where the bus was. What are we supposed to do? So they figured out which bus, because they're all yellow. Which one is ours? It's like a needle haystack. I went home that day. I was always researching and doing certain things. I went to Radio Shack. I took the remote control off of a garage door opener, and I wanted to see if I can make the horn in the car honk. Beep, 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 beep. That's all I wanted to see. All right, I blew fuses. I almost blew up the car. But what happened next? I got it to work. So the bottom line is, to cut to the chase, is you ever heard of LoJack? I get $2.60 for every LoJack ever sold on this planet because I invented that. Is that okay? That's how I brought in my first 100 million to billion at 14.5. What did you do at 14.5? I didn't go to high school. That would be a waste of my time. I was at Orange Coast College driving a Lamborghini. See, I don't understand why you're not a millionaire or billionaire. This stuff's easy. What's wrong with you? Maybe these aren't turned up loud enough. Maybe that's what it is. Now, here's where I screwed up. I want you to pay attention because you screw up all the time. Isn't that fun? It says, may sue or be sued. I didn't pay attention to that. I got my assets kicked. I got named in a lawsuit at 12.5 years old. It kind of sucks. So what are we going to do? Now, you can go online today if you need, and you keep researching it. You'll find out the original Helping Hand Industries was set up by a 9.5-year-old kid. Me! Isn't that fun? See, I went back to the library for 2 years. 2 years to figure out, okay, all right, what does it mean? I had to create my own blueprint. That's all I was looking for. I wanted a dummy sheet. I wanted a checklist. I wanted to know if I did all these things, I have this at the end of the rainbow. It didn't exist. So I created my own. I sent away $10. It was a money order to the Secretary of State of California. Nonprofit. It was a cheaper one at the time. It came back. Helping Hand. Now, some of you are old enough to realize when the 70s and 80s, you got this stuff in the mail. Credit cards. I've been getting credit cards since I was 9.5 to corporations. We got $100,000 friggin' in the mail. 53 million tied to dashboards. Okay. Then I got named in the movie Dave. So here's the problem. You want the American dream, or you're willing to fight like you know why to get there and understand your personal credit. You keep screwing up and being a duck and a sheep. But if we use corporate credit and finance it all the way, we can write it off and win the game. If you're willing to win the game of business, but that's up to you. You have to listen and learn. And I got named in the movie Dave too. Okay, so here's what happens at 12.5 years old. All right, I get named in a lawsuit. That sucks. Now, for 46 years, I've helped people just like you And I've had a lot of them, they tell me their stories about their friends and family ripping them off. So what do we have to do? Every time you have an idea, shut up. All right? Take your idea and all your notes, put it in a FedEx envelope. Don't open the envelope. You basically let the judge do it when they steal your idea. You set up a website. You protect it. See, I didn't understand trade name, trademarks, and copyrights. I had to master that too. So the goal is to never bring the pain where, and we have to address this issue because that's all you've been doing. Come on, at your age, come on, give me a break. It's ridiculous. You're getting older, slower. You're not as pretty as you used to be, and time's running out. You got 50 years left, maybe? What are we going to do? As long as we're trying, we're not dying. If we're not trying, hell, we might as well be broke. Oh, you already broke? Good, congratulations for you. I don't have a magic wand. I'm just going to tell you the truth. You're going to have to get off your ass. Now, the word no. I don't accept the word no. Every time someone tells me no, I'll say thank you. I have to keep my peace. Now, I had 19 houses at 17 and a half years old, collecting them and going to auctions. They said, no, you can't get number 20. What am I going to do? No, I transferred into my divisions. I freed up my loan to value problem. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? See, no doesn't mean no. It means they don't know how. And you've accepted no before. I think you should stop that. So if we write down today's date and we project and we look at 90 working days, understand, for me, I can only do things in buckets of 90 days. I don't want to take the whole world on my shoulders. These are things I've obtained. Would you like to see more goodies? Now, why didn't you do it? I don't understand. So let's understand million to billion. That was fun. And getting all the goodies and the mansions and the yachts and the race boats too. But again, you're going to get knocked down and you're going to win big too. 10. Are you willing to get knocked down? So let's understand legacy. Everybody wants to leave a legacy. Most people talk. All right. Half the people in this world are freaking lazy. So leaving a legacy. If today I position your corporation correctly, it's a management company, and your division owns a Wendy's restaurant. The other divisions are what? All right, storage unit. The other one's basically a Popeyes. I got one of those for a client the other day. Didn't have fun. And now this management company has a division for real estate. Kind of like Warren Buffett does and all the other rich and famous people do. See, they don't really run a business. And that's your biggest problem. You want to run the business. Good for you. So let's teach you some goodies today, okay? I'd like you to write down irrevocable trust. I'd like you to write down UCC1. You see, one of my clients, I got him in his restaurant, and all of a sudden, understand, they wanted $185,000 down. He put $80,000 down. We got him to do a carryback. Okay, so $80,000. We took it off a line of credit, checkbook money. That was fun. Now, he thinks he's done. This is where all of you screw up. You always think you're done. You're not done. Why would you be done? All right, so let's understand what happens. We UCC1 all the equipment in the restaurant. Okay, we UCC1 it. We give it to the bank and they give us a $300,000 loan on it. You see, equity sitting is called stupid. All right, equity should be moving around and again and again. As an example today for you, go to your house, go to your office. List up all your goodies. All right, put it on UCC1, turn it to a chattel mortgage. If you don't do that and tie to irrevocable trust, don't worry, when you're dead, they're going to sell your stuff like a swap meet, $1 a piece. Hey, I go to estate sales all the time. When I'm dead, you know what happens? All right, it goes to the irrevocable trust. I know where my goodies go. And my kids are officers to corporations, so they don't have to basically pay any tax. They get to be the puppet masters and control everything, but not have to transfer anything. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be? So understand, you today, you should be thinking about the people in front of you in this world today, from the Kennedys to the Hiltons to the Firestones to the Gettys to the Fords. Their family took over the heritage. You see, if you basically make them an officer or a resolution to take over a bank account, when you're dead, they don't have to pay tax. And they get to play with the millions and billions that daddy created. Would that be okay with you? If you learn to play my way a little bit? Oh, there's that corporation again. It's a legal what? Person. What did I learn? What do you get to do? We get to play. Now, a corporation has 4 quarters, March, June, September, December. We just started the first quarter. That means any division under a corporation currently, long as the corporate's 2 years, I can aid the division process under the umbrella through a resolution. And you're going to find out that 2 years is what gets you that line of credit called checkbook money. Isn't that fun? So let's think. All right, a corporation, today you're on Secretary of State's website. They see you, oh goody, you're the founder, you're on the bank account. And when they sue it, they sue you. Isn't that fun? Well, you thought you protected you. That's BS. Okay, your name's all over it. You're the duck and the sheep. But if you understand and you master division process that I invented in 85, 86, you can make sure your name's not on it. Is that okay? So let's think. Free money. Well, that's what I got in the mail as a kid. They sent all that credit. What am I going to do? Well, as long as you maintain the payment, it's free money. All right, then you start to be an investor. So 16 ways to be an investor into a business. Think about that. So if we wanted checkbook money, banks will give you up to $150 to $250 called check. I call it checkbook money. Now, I'm the one who nicknamed it that. So let's understand what it really is. They give you a line of credit, you sign the paper, and they put it in your corporate checkbook. Now it's your checkbook money. You see, from there, you put it in a savings account and you leave it there till you kind of target what business to buy. Real estate, franchise, or a good piece. That's the goal. I like checkbook money. Again, now I had a problem. Remember, they told me no about my properties. I couldn't get number 20. My problem with people back then is buyers are liars. Agents and brokers are lying through their teeth. The real estate agent is a liar and a buyer, and the rally's what happens in the broker. Your debt to ratio has to be 40 to 50%. That's BS. I designed the system in the first place. It's never been that. So in an escrow, people have to do what? Pay down a debt to get a better interest rate? Those liars back people in the corner. And remember 2008, all those idiots, all those stupid people that screwed it up? Stated income. Now that's a bunch of liars and buyers. What do you think? So I didn't like basically having these people I thought were crooks. So I decided to become the bank. So I want you to write down become the bank. Okay? So basically what did I do? I'd start split deeding things. Now understand, when I sold my first car, I decided to be the bank. I sold the car to Mike. Mike gave me the money for the car. All right. And the reality is he's going to get a loan on it. So I basically said, I'll tell you, Mike, you give me half the down payment. Here's the car. I hold the pink slip, but I don't own it. I have already a loan on it. So I put myself in the middle when I sold the car to become the bank. Why didn't you do that? When I sold a piece of property, I want to basically be what? To be the bank. I want to basically have that 30-year note come through me, and I want to play the game and want to win. Isn't that the way to play this game? See, when I wrote Winning the Game of Business, literally 46 years ago, that was what I was trying to explain what I was doing for me. Page 6, paragraph 3, cash flow, free up your time. So I was just showing people what I was doing for myself. So basically become the bank. So if we took an apartment complex and dissect it, what do we get to do? We get to do assignment of mortgage. Write it down. An assignment of mortgage. The next thing we get to do is understand, in my real estate system, they got billions of real estate, the buckets of money, tax balancing, become the bank. All right, I designed basically assignment of asset. Isn't that fun? So if we get the rules and tools, we can play the game and win. I like to win the game, don't you? See, every game you play, you want to win. When you don't treat your life like a game or your business, the reality is you settle and you lose, and that's when you come with your plan B, which is no plan B. If you're going to play to win, you play like a game. So let's think today. I have 6 kids, 4 of my old adult kids, bigger. They moved to different states. They're educated, Ivy League education, grants, and all kinds of good stuff, and all these things because they got all that money. Kind of fun stuff. And they got basically all this education. They married right. You know what I found out about 4 years ago? They have properties for $1,000 to $100,000. $100,000 to $50,000, $35,000. Literally, I found brand new houses for $35,000, and I said, okay, let's buy 6 of them. If we use the corporate credit, we get to write off the car that comes with the checkbook and interest rate and everything else. We got nothing to lose. So let's buy 6. Why not? From there, they have probably $75,000, $100,000. So if we start gathering real estate, we know it goes up, up, and away, right? I bought a property, all right, literally when I was 17 in Mesa Woods, all right, which is Sunkist and basically Fairview, and right across where I helped set up the tent for Calvary Chapel with Chuck Smith. All right, now I paid $36,000. It's worth $1.9 million. Doesn't real estate go up, up, and away? So what do we look at? They want $75,000 for the house. How many would you like? See, you keep using you as a duck and a sheep, and that kind of sucks. If we use the division process, we can separate liability. How many would you like now? Now, understand, we can do Section 8s, or we can have a local real estate office managing for us because they want to make a commission. Isn't that fun? I like that. Oh, here's one. They want $5,000 too. Pick a state. They're everywhere, but not in California. So if we play this game, we're going to get auto income, and we're what people call residual income. Section 8 are owned by the division process or both. So again, now I've been working with different bankers and things. I was a consultant for banks for 29 years. It was fun. All right, we're working with the VP in South Florida. All right, and you know what's really weird? They have all these properties, all right, that the bank owns, 19,000 of them. The bank owns this and they need some help. Maybe you want to help them. What do you think? So all of a sudden we look at, now listen carefully. I want you to go to every bank that you think you have an account or whatever you have, like Bank of America, repo, all right, owned by the bank. I want you to do your research. I want you to get off your assets. And some of you quit being damn well lazy because that's ridiculous. So we could actually help the bank and move some properties and make it work. And that's the ultimate goal, to make it work so we can make some money. I like money, all right, because why? It got to the point I eat out of a trash can. I didn't get used and abused. I thought that sucked. See, money is not going to solve your problem, but it sure helps. Gets rid of all that stress off your back. So money's nice. But again, I just want to pay the bills, free up my time. So as we play this game, we get to win. Residual income. Okay. Now we have HUD Homes USA. We go there, they have short sales, foreclosures, and auctions. What are we looking to do? Again, play and use the corporate credit because you don't have the money in the first place. And if you did, you wouldn't want to use your money because it'd back yourself in a corner like you'd done before. Kind of sucks. So all of a sudden I help a client position. Now remember, I wrote the book on laundromats, dry cleaning, storage units, car washes, and don't forget my 22,000 payphones I had years ago. It was fun. I didn't collect the damn money. Why would I do that? So this client got 63,000 a month. Here's one that got 30,000 a month. Oh, this is what do you look at? See, what do you see? Now, the man passes away, God rest his soul. Wife has to get rid of it because she's in a lease, doesn't know how to run the restaurant. Now, this is fully done up, drive through off the freeway. They want 79,000. It only took 5,000 to get it. Do you see opportunity yet? So how about a Wendy's restaurant? How about a Jack in the Box? How about some gas stations? So I update things every day. So let's think. There's a McDonald's because the man passed away. They want to get rid of it for $250,000. Usually it's $2 million in, $2 million reserve. How about AutoZone? How about a gas station? How about we put $8,575 on a piece of property in a division? What are we looking to do? We're basically getting to the point we can offset our taxes and have some fun if we want to do this as well. So what I want you to do, get to the point you look at auto income, and that's the ultimate goal. And it's amazing. When my wife calls, I got to take. Sorry about that, because when the wife calls, this is actually my son. And there's one thing I'll always do. I will drop everything I'm doing for them, no matter what I'm doing. Now, what do you see here? What do you see? See, here's your problem, okay? Your problem is you. Now, I have my wife. Her name is Faizuli. To me, it's a sexy name, okay? But it's like Versace. So I'm setting up Faizuli's Colombian coffees. I want to give Starbucks a run for their money. Now, they got mad at us because my wife does the banana bread at Starbucks, if you don't know that, because she makes all kinds of money. So what do? That Taco Bell is empty. That other one's empty too. You see, I look at opportunity. You pass it by every day, and that should stop. We should play opportunity. Now, let's understand something. All right, Linda's here. She's my client from 1987. I have a millionaire group every Saturday since 1987, 6 in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You're only invited because I got you the $1 million of credit if I like you. Now, not everybody likes me. Hell, not everybody likes you. I might not like you. Oh, well. See, the reality is if you ever want to join my millionaire group, everyone has 3 million, 5 million to 10 million. Now, I got now 29 billionaires and 31 million millionaires. Isn't that fun? So once in a while, all right, if you want in the future, maybe you'll be invited to the 6 or 4 o'clock on a Saturday. All right, but you got to get to Pasco. So let's think about money, what you don't have enough of. Credit, loan, and money. Credit, loan, and money. Let's write it down. So let's pretend you do everything I say and you open these real loud and you have a management company and have a division for franchise, a division for apartment complex, and you create a line of defense. The money's coming in, the bills are being paid. We're going to take 100,000 at that time, even if off of a card. We're going to get the bank to give us up to 1.5 million because that's what they'll do. So again, what do we get? Financial freedom and basically checkbook money, residual income. Isn't that fun? You see, if you needed $25,000 of credit today, all right, during my webinars, I always like to give you some discounts. I haven't had a paycheck for 31 years. I don't seem to need one. I don't get a commission. So in special things like this one, I give it away half price. But it's only during that webinar. I had one on Saturday. You only could do it on Monday. They called Monday and they said, this is the price. Okay, take it or leave it. You see, that's how it works. You need 100,000, it's $39.99. You get a 60% discount. Now, I don't like credit cards. I like Zelle. But again, let's look at the bottom of this. Come on, pay attention. Take a picture. Click. It says here, Zelle, or which purchased and owns by the 7 national largest banks. B of A, Capital One, JCP, Penny, or JC Mortgage Chase, PNC, US Bank, and Wells Fargo. See, they grouped together to buy Zelle, business and personal. All right, and that's kind of fun. So what do we look at? Okay, now let's pretend you're going to do what I do, because I like to clone me to you and not have you think. The more you think, the more you screw it up. Sorry, that's just what I feel and I believe. If I did what I did for me, what I did is I found out I bought, I got too much credit. When you get 53 million of corporate credit and credit cards, what the hell are you going to do with it? Well, you put it in these little books like this, and you go page by page by page by page by page, and then you run out of space in, you get another book. Then you have a wall of them. Isn't that fun? You see, I'm not going to back myself in a corner like most people do. But here's the thing. If you would take what I put in my original book, all right, about cash flow free up your time, every 50,000 you loan out, all right, what does it create? $2,400 a month income. After the bill is paid, you're going to have $2,400 a month. Well, I'm not rich, Ray. I'd say to that person, shut up. Now do it 10 more times. See, there's the problem. Well, we have to understand there's many ways to get residual income. I'll call it, they'll call it passive income. I call it all-in auto income. When I was 17 and a half, my bills were $1,000. I knew if I could create $1,000 a month automatically coming in, I could free up my time. And that's what I did. That's why I put cash flow free up my time, page 6, paragraph 3. So let's show you the first matrix. This is in the book called Buckets of Money. I got to the point it was like ridiculous. I had too much credit. So I started loaning it out under C191D because a corporation can do small private lending. Isn't that fun? You know what I did? By the time it was done in 9 months, I had $190,000 a month. Damn, isn't that fun? It's a game. Let's play to win. Is that okay if we play to win? It took me 41 divisions to do that. See, here's your problem. You have one life, you have one social security number, and you allow yourself to be a duck and a sheep. A corporation has one tax ID. Okay, well, what if we have our division process and we have separate tax IDs for separate credit reports and separate ways of buckets of money, and we separate property and lines of credit, and we separate liability? That's why I invented division process in 85, 86. But again, what do we get to do? How about my nest matrix in the book? 16 million. Now this one took me about 33 months to do. Okay, and it's 661,000 a month. You see, when my graduates came out of 2008, that's Chime, Self-Fund, that's, owning, which used to be Cash Call, Speedy Cash, Don'tBeBroke.com, Title Max, and all the blah, blah, blah. Because some of you have known, I used to teach people how to sell pink slips. It's fun. 661,000 a month. Is that okay? You see, your problem is, until you get the auto income coming in above your bills and you get to free up your time, it's all a bunch of BS. It's what it is. So I like to make you a money-making machine. This means we look at the 5 reasons why corporate credit versus personal credit. First of all, we look at it's a write-off. You can't write off your personal credit, diddly squat. Well, that sucks. Here, you write all this off, interest rate and credit card. Ooh, I like that. If I'm going to roll the dice, let it be a division. Why would I want to be a duck and a sheep? The next thing is it's free money. All I got to do is maintain the payment. And this way, I don't hurt my family and bring the pain home like a bunch of dummies do. Probably some of you. From here, what do? Division process. Divisions create a line of defense. Line of defense. All right, it's amazing. When I was in the karate studio being a janitor at 4, all right, Chuck and basically Aaron taught me the defensive circle. If anybody gets close to you, if you know them, you hug and love them. If not, you back them and get ready to kick some assets. They call that the defensive circle. This is the line of defense, because in life, your friends and family ripped you off. You got ripped off by people you know. That kind of sucks. What if we build the legacy you need to do in the first place? But again, we go back to that at the beginning, the banks and the grocery stores, because they have a corp owning corp subsidiaries, and they have bankrupt locations called branch numbers. And they don't bring the pain home like you. Doesn't that suck? I mean, Walmart, the largest retailer in the world, has shut down 800 locations so far. Sam's Club's getting to 1,600 because there's a bad location. They made a business decision. You keep making the decision to hurt you and your family. Doesn't that suck? Geico, Warren Buffett's company, leaves California because they changed rules and they bankrupt 38 locations. And they write it up on their taxes. See, you got to get to the point you understand how to play. 11 cities file bankruptcy too. So what do we get to do? Our goal should be mentally stop bringing the pain home, become a certified CFO, and reprogram your brain to millionaire status. Now, here's me, 46 years helping people. I want to help you from the beginning to the middle to the end, as long as you don't screw it up. All right, don't violate the rules and tools. Again, that's all you got to do. Now, I was 9.5 when I started my first blueprint at the Torrance Library. I wrote down this at 9.5. See it, believe it, go get it. And that's what I wrote down. Now, here's your problem. You're treading water, you're playing it safe. Okay, that's what you're doing. Come on. You've been ripped off by somebody who said, I don't want to do this. We have 5 things to have, must have. These 5 must have, all right, we must have, period. A 750 score, not care, credit, first premier, all right, corporation with about 30 divisions, $1 million of cash credit, checkbook money, and vendor supply money. Those are must have. So the goal for me, when I had basically repackaged in America, owning in America, I let Don King use it years ago. Those are my companies, if you don't know that. So what do we get to do? Kind of repackage it like Humpty Dumpty. Isn't that fun? So here we have 1,000 steps to the millionaire. And what do? Oh, by the way, these are just things I obtained. To get that house with the largest U-Dock in Huntington Harbor, it took me 3 tries. I mean, I got properties in all 5 islands in Huntington Harbor, but I got 3 yachts, 2 race boats, a Duffy, and a bunch of Sea-Doos. I was all over the place. No, one in my backyard. There you go. Simple. I like that. So I got the Millionaires Founders Kit I designed years ago. I sold it to the Bonaventure for 32 years for $5,000 a set. Isn't that fun? So what's a corporation again? It may what, sue or be sued? So this means if they sue the corp, they sue you. Without the division process, you're a duck and a sheep. Sorry. So let's think about division. When I owned the Shakey's pizza place, those are fun. 31 flavors, the donut chain, all right, all these other things, the shopping center, the mall, the payphones, and all this other stuff. See, I have a problem. Not everybody likes me. Woo! There's always a turd in the bowl, someone trying to give you crap. What if I have a problem with one of my entities? Well, debt follows tax ID. I can disconnect, isolate, incorporate. So write it down. Disconnect, isolate, incorporate. I put that sucker over here. Bad location. That's how the banks and the cities and the grocery stores do it every day. You in front of you, you didn't look behind the curtain. Sorry. So what happens if I have a bad tenant who slips and falls? It's a division process. I get to, listen carefully, I get to build cash credit, supply credit per entity per tax ID. And I'm an affiliate, 119 creditors, so I get to set up credit reports instantly. Is that okay if I do it instantly? So let's think about something today. Your corporation is going to own an apartment complex, a building, a Wendy's, a Shakey's, whatever the hell it's going to own. And that way, if there's a bad problem, what do you get to do? Disconnect, isolate, incorporate, bank with the peace. If your banks and grocery stores and cities can do this in front of you, did you ever not want to look behind the curtain? That's called the line of defense. I am willing to sacrifice a division, but not my family and the corporation. I never had a birthday or a Christmas as a kid. I didn't get a family or a mommy and a daddy. When I first got married, she gave me a birthday and a Christmas. It's like I kind of feel guilty when she gives me something. Kind of sucks. But I got 6 kids, 10 grandkids. So I'm not going to hurt my family or the corporation like you. I think you need to change what you do my way. Let's look at the form that I got modified. In 1984, I got a choice because I want to create an entity. All right, remember, Chapter 18 says a corporation is a legal person. I want to create an entity because that's what the SS4 allows me to do. All right, so we have a choice. I go to Sacramento. They say you can create a form, get it approved. It'll take a little while, a couple years, or you can modify an existing one. Well, I looked at fictitious business name, and the guy that did this was a Harvard graduate professor. This ding-dong forgot to add a legal person to it. It had to be modified. So I want you to listen very carefully. Every time you try as you, it sucks. You bring the pain home, it sucks. Every time you get your assets kicked, it sucks. You understand the word sucks yet? So let's take a sole proprietor and put it on line 2, just for the fun of it. Now, if I had one of those, I could put the name on line 2, and I can add another name to change the name. Now, I want you to think about something. All right, if you're driving a car or have liability, line 2 is not your name. Line 2 is not what? Your name. Line 4 is a corporation. A corporation. You understand this? So this means very simple. If we look at a pink slip, and this is the one in one of the Ferraris in the Lamborghini. No, this is the Lamborghini one. All right, that little white one over there, pearl white, it's gorgeous. It's worth $1 million. So if I'm in a bumpity bump, they're going to sue the registered owner. Luckily, the registered owner is a division. I want to make sure they get diddly squat. Is that okay? They get diddly squat. So let's understand. I'm going to always say, where's your name? Where's your name? If we create a corporate umbrella, it's a legal person with an entity, allows tax ID, credit reports, and all the pieces. Debt follows tax ID. Our name's not on it. We're no longer a duck and a sheep. God gave me a vision that could change the world. Isn't that fun? What am I willing to lose now? A division, not the corp and my family. You keep hurting your family. You got to stop that. So let's look at line 2 one more time. This allows me to put our name there, our first name, our middle name, our last name, mommy's maiden name. If you have a business, you put a business name. What are you creating? A legitimate entity filed at county recorder's office. And what do we, if we want to buy at wholesale price, we put the word wholesale jewelry, wholesale carpet. And now we get to buy what? Wholesale pricing. So how you name the corporation? I need you to take today, and I want you to look at Google. I want you to Google bankruptcy. You see, you're going to have an old crap day again. An old crap day. Are you going to allow it to be you and your social and your family, or the division or corporation or what? Tax ID. Make a decision. So when I get the tax ID for you, if you allow me to, I'm allowed as an affiliate to set up Experian, Trendio, and Equifax cash reports under the tax ID and start popping your credit and get you analyzed and position you right. Isn't that fun? That way you can get some checkbook money. Isn't that fun to get checkbook money? So a division allows you to build millions of dollars of credit, as I did the 5 million all the way up and away. So we get to what? Multiply. See, if you had a corporation in California, you pay franchise tax fee. If you have 5, that's 5 franchise tax fees. Divisions don't pay those. Is that okay? If you take my book called Buckets of Money, and you take that matrix there, that's $190,000 a month. Is that income for you too? So let's understand something. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to change your life. I want you to change the way you think. I want you to write down the division of me. Division of me. Write it down because it means you. Line 1 there, let's look in. S is for legal name of entity or individual person. You see that right there? That allows me to put a person's name, corporation, division, or subsidiary right there. All right, legitimate. The IRS is going to hand me a tax ID. That means I get to build credit reports and I get to build more credit. Is that okay? So all of a sudden, now here's what I showed before. SSN versus SS4. Let's look at this Lamborghini. Here's the keys. $1 million. All right, the payment when it got the first beginning, $6,800 a month. But here's my problem. I don't think like you, and I don't want you to think the way you do either. I got the Lamborghini under a division of a corporation. I guarantee it is a division. See, if I don't do it that way and I have to have my businesses and my shakies and my buildings and all the other pieces, and there's something problem, I can't pay that $6,800 a month. Oh, what? Oh, crap day. So what are they going to do? Report it to the credit bureau, so I'll have crappy credit. And then I'm going to have what? The IRS 1099-C get more double crappy credit. So I don't want to do it that way. That's the way you do things, and I think it sucks. So understand the division process. Now, if I got a problem, I get to do the 3-step I invented for myself. So write it down. I get to disconnect, isolate, incorporate. I save all my pieces in my companies, and I put it over here under the federal action. All right, what do we get to do? Federal protection. Bankruptcy. I'm not going to do it right away. I'm going to try to save it. If I can't save it within 6 months, I'm going to bankrupt the crap out of the bad piece and keep the other pieces. Isn't that what your cities, your grocery stores, your banks and cities do around you? They do, don't they? See, when you sign a lease of a building, you shouldn't be signing it as you, the person. It should be you as the division. When you get properties, if you don't put them in divisions, one slips and falls and they sue you and they screw you up. You're broke again. You're older, you're slower, you're not as pretty as you used to be. So what do we do? The reason the SS4 was created in the first place was credit purposes. No, how to receive money and not pay tax till you're profitable. So what happens? The Fair Lending Act, you have 12 acts to master. Here's an unlimited American Express card. Did you know they'll actually offer this to you? You get 99 more cards. How many would you like? I've been financing business off its own credit since I could walk, it seemed like. So you get to play. So I want you to think about, if you're all screwed up with your personal credit, we're going to get you positioned correctly. At the same time, think about a division of you, okay? Because I can build credit to it. Now, there's a problem. Why don't you have 3 of these? You get 3 more chances to try. As long as you have no intent to do fraud. Your problem is, some of you, when Ken Yarborough, security chief at TRW, that I got to train years ago, him and I wrote a book on file segregation. I don't like file segregation. Why? Because it's basically, it's just shady. When I get a tax ID from the IRS and I file this form legitimately and it's real, it basically allows me to build credit. If I got a problem with one of them, what I get to do? Disconnect, isolate, incorporate. So what happens is you can replace yourself again and again. Your problem is you like being a duck and a sheep. And I think that kind of sucks. So why be stressed out? Everybody should maintain basically a 750 score. All they have to do is understand the rules and tools how to play. So here's what I do with my divisions of me. Not only do I build credit, don't only get properties, I also buy franchises. Is that okay? So my goal since a little kid is never bring the pain home. So let's understand. So what does this get to do? All right. If you want a division in your name and you want me to set up the file and you want me to add one of my credit cards to it, I'll do that for you. It's like Amos here today. He still has one of those cards that I gave him 20 years ago at $351. It's on his report. I said, Amos, we got to get rid of that. We don't need it anymore, because I had to build them up and away. So if you want one, a division of you with the card reporting, it's $9.99. There's your Zelle. Take a picture. It'll last longer. So here's the problem. You have a corporation. Oh, goody for you. What does that mean? When they see your name on that corporation, you're also supposed to list everything you're trying to do. All right. The problem is most of you probably use your home address. Your home address should never be used for anything at all. So you can change it to a mailbox, etc., shared office space. That way you can put your ducks in a row. Right now, if they sue that corp, they sue you. That kind of sucks. Why don't we create a line of defense to give you a heck of a try? As long as you're trying, you're not dying. If you're not trying, you might as well be dead. So what do we get to do? Line of defense. So if we set up the process, listen carefully. If we put the foundation, get rules into us how to play, and we do this the right way, what's going to happen? We're going to build the corporation. I'm going to go back to that form, SS4, and look at what it says. Legal name of entity or individual person. So if I create an entity, or even my person, my name on there, I'm allowed to do this, and they're going to have me a tax ID. Your banks, grocery stores, and cities do this. Now understand, when you dissect an SS4 form, all right, I want you to focus on it, because it's going to say banking and credit purposes. There's 26 ways to use an SS4. I explained that to Ted Turner when I was 9.5 years old at Mrs. Hope's house, by the way. It was kind of fun. You see, this is per entity. You gave yourself one chance to try, and you didn't learn to play, and you look behind the curtain. A corporation is allowed 4 things. That's it. Your corporation should have buffered tax. It means no taxes due till you're profitable. All corporate credit, interest rate card, it's a write-off. Isn't that free money as long as you maintain the payment? See, some of you screwed up your credit because you thought that was free money till they kick your assets. How about the cart fleet price and the free buffet? So let's understand the division. They're cheap. There's a line of defense. They're right. Multiple functions, buy at wholesale price. And I love this one, multiple credit reports. And in real estate, you get separate liability. So if we write these things down, because you can't take a picture and record, and you master these rules, what am I going to do? Create a line of defense. I'm going to build a corporate umbrella. I'm going to get to Spear and Treasure and Equifax, set up cash reports, and boom, booyah, we're going to have cash credit. Isn't that fun? So if we do this correctly, we can finance the American dream. So let's understand. Here's a corp and 9 divisions. If I take one card and I ask for 9 sisters, that's $1 million. Is that okay? That every division has an entity and a P&L statement and different locations as well. So that one card literally can be 9 more. They even offer it to your face. Isn't that fun? So that could be $1 million. Then how about the line of credit too? 9 divisions with a basically projection of $2.5 million. It's called daisy chaining of credit. Don't worry, I wrote a book on that. I invented that too. So we get to play. A corporation should have 9 divisions, profit, and 9 for nonprofit, 3 divisions of you, and 5 closet divisions. That's what I did for myself. All right, I want to make sure I don't bring the pain home. 26 is what it should have. A division at the office is $4.99, adding history and all the other things and tax IDs. But you came here today, so thank you. This is the ability to take a picture, click. This is only good during this broadcast, period. I don't pay a commission to myself. I don't get a paycheck. At the office, $4.99. Tonight on this broadcast, if you wanted 3, 6, 9, 18, or 26, they're $99 a piece. If it was a Zelle. But it's okay if you don't do it tonight. Call the office and pay $4.99. That's how it works. What are you willing to lose? Be honest with yourself. I didn't get a family till I had a wife and 6 kids and 10 grandkids. All right, I didn't have a Christmas or a birthday as a kid. It kind of sucks. So I'm not willing to lose my family, is my point. Corporation, they sue you. A division gives you the line of defense. That's how you get checkmate and you win every time. You have to win every time. So I want you to think about never bringing the pain home. And remember, I'll hold your hand from beginning to middle to end until we get you where you need to go. All right, now these are goodies. You like goodies yet? I like goodies. I only show goodies that I obtained, only a couple of them. And all race boats and yachts, I always put the Ray Williams University on it to mark that I obtained it. Isn't that fun? From there, how about the Duffies? How about the Harleys? I got 5 of those suckers, but they're not mine. They're under the nonprofit. I got to ride with Neil Diamond a couple of times. That was fun too. So you can have fun while you're getting the American dream. These are goodies you don't want to get till you hit $5 million, okay? Ultimate goal. You should have $1 million of credit cards, up to that, $5 million of checkbook money. You see, that should be a goal this year. And what do we get to do? We got 1,000 steps to master. All right, the Millionaires Founders Kit help you walk it through, and my live workshops will help you as well. From here, making a money-making machine. So understand. Now, here's the hardest thing. I got to get you to listen to rules and tools. All cards, 29% rule. I just designed that years ago too. And from there, these cards never make your credit score fluctuate. So if we listen to that about you over here, you're okay. Now what do? We take and we position the Capital One green card. It's $100,000 unlimited. They have 2 sisters for $30,000. So if we take that 160 off one card, there's actually 3 cards for Capital One Spark. What if we multiply it by 9? Is that $1 million? How about we look at the B of A's by 9? Is that $1 million? How about the Wells Fargo? How about the Inc? How about the gold? So if we position this correctly, every entity can basically ask for separate billing, reapply, and their allies have their own accounts. That's up to $5 million. Now, if we position this correctly, the banks will give you checkbook money. Now, remember, it's unsecured, up to 150 as an average, and you can actually push it based on projections to 250. Again, but you have to have a 2-year corp or a 2-year division or both. Here's the 5 that I like, getting up to $5.4 million. That's checkbook money that you would use to buy that Wendy's, that Jack in the Box, that gas station, that laundromat, that dry cleaner, or even that Popeye's chicken. Again, what do we get to do? All right, you use this money to get that auto income ran by third party. See, I want you to be an investor, not run a business. But again, that's up to you. So we get to play my way for a while. So let's understand a line of credit. Your bank is going to look at average balance. So the average balance is based on the line of credit they're going to give you. Again, from basically $50,000 to $150,000. We're going to position this the right way. Next, as we make you the certified CFO, the goal is this is called checkbook money. From there, I'm going to position, when you get good enough at this, you're going to go to 5 locations of the same brand of bank, as I've done it at every bank. Now we get 4 lines of credit simultaneously. As we look at reference of 3, when your business starts to make money and you're paying your bills and the wheel's turning, you're going to reference 3 times 5. Write it down. And what's going to happen is you're going to be leveraging money. Okay, so let's pretend you're going to listen 100% with your ears open wide, and we take a corporation and we put $1,100 in it for the fun of it. Then we open a CD because we're making money. Then we get a line of credit. Now what am I doing? I'm in the process of positioning. Listen carefully. When you fill out a credit application, you have a lot of blanks. This is a reference of 3 times 5. Don't be surprised they're going to give you 3 times your money to 5 times. So application with money in the bank equal more corporate credit. We're going to build a corporate umbrella. You got it so far? We're going to daisy chain the credit from one card to the other divisions. Every division is going to be known as a bucket of money. Is that okay if we create a bucket of money? Because that's how you finance the American dream. All right, and you become that certified CFO. Is it easy? No. Is it a pain in the asset? Yes. Is it worth it? Oh, yeah. Here's Carl. Google him. His line of credit at Bank of America is $1.2 billion, and he brought in $800 million last year. Because he used borrowed money, he doesn't pay state and federal tax. Borrowed money is not taxable. So you're going to learn how to play. Now, Disney, they don't want to pay tax on $1 billion, so they wrote an IOU to themselves. And in Newsweek, they call it they deduct taxes. So let's think about money again, checkbook money. When you position it right, and I build this up, and I might even take it off of a card or 2 for you to do this. So what happens? Average balance, 150, no tax return. But then leveraging money, reference 3 times 5. See, when you get the foundation, now you have the money to buy that company. And you get to do what? You get to be like a Warren Buffett. Isn't that fun? Now, if we position this correctly, reference of 3, that means you can create $1 million maker. It's a program too. We get to play and build $1 million of cash credit. Is that okay? We get the American dream, but it's up to you. Again, if you don't do it my way, good luck. I mean, look at your age today. If you knew how to do it in the first place, you wouldn't be watching me. You would have done it. But the problem is you don't know how to play, so you got to go, oh, okay, what's going to happen? Here's a way your next 50 years are better than your first when it comes to money and finance. You get to enjoy life, but that's up to you as we play this game. So if we leverage 75,000, that's a reference of 225. The bank's going to give it to 1.25 million line of credit. You use that line of credit to finance your business, and you buy the Wendy's and the TacoBells or whatever you want, or the McDonald's, then it's ran by third party. So if we do this correctly, will you do what I ask you to do? That's about coaching programs as well. So what is our goal? Corporation and divisions. We get to play the game. So I want you to think about something today. If you allow me to position you right, I don't care if you take 1,000 to 75,000 bucks, we're going to get lines of credit up, and away. Now, what do you do with the money? Well, here's your problem. If I gave you a check for $1 million today, and you go, oh, look at this, I can buy a house and a car. No. You want to reference 3 times 5. Simple. That's what you should be doing. The corporate credit is used for one thing. Borrow money is not taxable. Borrow money is not what? Taxable. You take this money and you basically buy your lifetime income. House, duplex, fourplex, apartment complex, or a franchise. Something that is a necessity business, period, that goes up, and away. Bad location, disconnect, isolate, incorporate, bankrupt it, go get another one. See, it's a game. Your problem is you never learned to play, so you like to be a duck and a sheep, and you bring the pain home. Let's pretend you won the lottery. Wow, what do you do? Simple. All right, now what? Now, your CPA attorney is going to say, you got to put in your personal bank account. Then you're going to have to pay tax on interest. I'm going to say that's stupid. Sorry. I'm going to tell you I want you to deposit in a division of you and the corporate bank or a bank account and tax ID. Is that okay? Then I'm going to say I want you to sit down with Mr. Banker and I want you to borrow against your credit line of credit. Debt. Did you know debt offsets taxes? Borrow money is not taxable. And this basically stays there and the bank loves you forever, up, and away to million to billion. Isn't that the way you should do? So let's understand. If I build a corporate umbrella for you and I hold your hand and each division has what? A business, auto income. What is our goal? Build an umbrella. Daisy chain the credit back and forth. Every division is known as a bucket of money. Because you can't get the money, you can't get the honey. The honey might be the apartment complex. It might be the Wendy's. It might be what? It might be the storage unit. It might be something. But you have to understand, I don't want you to run the business. I want it ran by third party. So every property you get in the future, I want them in a division. You don't know which one's going to fall and sue you and kind of mess you up. Your house payment offsets your taxes. Amazon did not pay tax on the first 10 billion to double trillion. Why would they pay tax? They don't have to pay tax like you because they know how to play. Your problem is you don't know how to play. There's no loophole. They're doing what they're allowed to do. We watched him buy Twitter in 2 days in front of the world, borrowing $44 billion. And then he screwed it up 3 weeks later. I don't know if that was his intent. Maybe he wanted a write-off or something. The bank seems kind of pissed off. But twilly-dee, twilly-dum, X marks the spot. Oh, wow. He's got a spaceship. So the other 2 guys, they have spaceships too. Did you know if you actually want to play the game and join the club, you could actually win? But again, that's up to you. You see, let's understand. All right. Bezos says he never goes past 12 rooms in that whole house. Mark buys the properties around where he lives. I mean, this guy on TikTok, well, Warren Buffett has the same house. Stop the crap. Warren owns 65 pieces of property. Okay. And drives around in a limousine all the time. Which one you want to buy? Debt offsets taxes. So if we play the game correctly, we can join the club, we can win. And like these companies, they don't pay tax either. Why do they pay tax? They pay property tax. They pay certain things they have to do. But again, they get to play the right way. So your goal is to learn how to play as you do this. So let's understand, receiving money matters more than anything. SSN, tax, and probate when you're dead. SS4, no taxes due to your profitable. So if we learn to play, we could win the game. How about I get you to the profit zone? Now this means your corporation has entities, 9 at least, and we build credit to each one of them. Would that be okay, over $1 million? And then we want a Nevada LLC. Now understand, I know they came with this new CTA Act. Who cares? All the information on the Secretary of State's website anyway. So it doesn't really matter. The LLC has to be in Nevada because they're a tax-free state. Is that okay? You learn how to play, but that's only when you get to profit zone. People who want corporations out of state where they live right now, when they have made enough money, it's like, why are you wasting and killing money? All right, tax-free Nevada. If you get to profit zone at 3 to 5 million, until then you don't need it, unless you live in Nevada. So let's remember, I'm Ray Reynolds. They call me the Godfather of credit. When I came out of the coma, we had 9 people online from Tickety Talk, or not there, YouTube and Google. They're all saying they're Ray Reynolds. Robert, my attorney, had to go kick their assets. Will the real one stand up? I am the largest registered agent in the world in 2009. I sold more than 10 times in Nevada Corp than anybody on this planet. So let's understand the truth. You don't need Nevada until you're in the profit zone, unless you live in Nevada. Incorporate your own state, okay? Why waste money? So again, LLC, when you get to profit zone in Nevada. So we're going to play my way. Now let's watch. You have an SSN. Oh, goody. You only have one. Well, that sucks. I want you to get 100,000 of credit. I want you not to go past 29%. Every card you have needs a sticky, limit of the card, 25%, never past 29%. The way I designed it years ago. These two don't fluctuate ever. So those are your emergency cards are past 29%. So we want to have our safety credit, 71,000 of safety. From there, we don't use personal credit to start a business because that's kind of stupid. All that does is hurt the family. So we never bring the pain where? Home. We actually write down SS4 now. What do we look to do? Corporation. First of all, you don't name it after you, don't name it what it does. I get a client the other day, XYZ Construction. How stupid could that be? XYZ Management owning a construction division. Now that's brilliant. Again, what do we create? Line of defense. So understand, a division for a house, franchise, current business. All right, what do we create? Each division can have up to $1 million of credit per tax ID. Again, what do we create? Line of defense. So your goal should be, let me reprogram what you're doing because I think it sucks. All right, what do we get again? I want you to get this so much in your brain. All right, what is this called again? Corporate umbrella, managing entities. We days you chain that credit across the board and get all that free money, maintain the payment. We need to write it all off. Buckets of money. Buckets of money. It's a book I wrote. Isn't that fun? I like buckets of money. What do? One card get 9 more sisters. Oh, what if every card got 9 sisters? What if everyone had their own credit file and build that credit to finance that dream in every location you have? And we get lines of credit too, and 2.5 million, and that's called AGG Union Credit. So what do? So you have to take the time and analyze yourself. Your corp never at C or basically LLC, convert to S, 1244. Your house payment offsets your taxes. And then you don't make any payments. You don't have to pay what? Tax until you get to 3 to 5 million. You're going to break even for a while. But you're not at 3 to 5 million now anyway, are you? You want to be. So let's say you want to, sell widgets or something. We get $100,000 to $1 million of vendor and supply credit. You don't pay a bill up to 90 days. It's OPM money, Dun & Bradstreet. Now you can sell things on basically Amazon and eBay. There you go. Make some money. So let's understand. Here's my problem, and this is what I have with everybody. Okay, I have a calendar, and my calendar is very simple. All right, and what happens is Santos just gave me the new one today. You see all the green little dots and lines? Okay, that means that's the only positions I have available. I'm now down to basically 2 people, all right, that have a position available. See, what happens is very simple for me. I can only do 6 calls a day. That means 30 people a month. So I have literally, 2 positions available for coaching. If you're not in it, that's right, you're not in it to win it anyway. So if you're in coaching program, all right, what does this mean? That means your file is in my desk, and I basically analyze you every 7 days. The faster I build credit, the faster I get a little commission. Up, up, and away. So the goal is very simple. So some people, I'll just buy phone calls. Okay, go ahead. All right, 15-minute phone calls are one thing. It's Q&A. I'm answering your question. That's all it is. Blueprinting is an hour. You're stuck with me for an hour. All right, going to rebuild your life my way a little bit. From their coaching program is auto income. Auto income to me is how I designed it for me years ago. I just needed that first $1,000. But again, get up, and away. So if you need phone calls, take a picture of this right now. Clickety-click. There you go. I'll do your Q&A all the time you want. Very simple. They're 15-minute. Now, if you have the guts, and I say guts because I'm going to tear apart your life. I want to blueprint you. I want to talk about past, present, and future, good, bad, and ugly. I want to talk about your family to protect you. Here's the thing that happens with married couples. God made us one. Your credit is separate SSNs, and that's what it should be. Now, here's my problem. Every time I have a married couple, I said, have you filed your prenuptial and postnuptial? And I get these looks. Oh. And I always go, you do realize that they sue your husband, they sue you. They sue your wife, they sue you. If you have an agreement, now my agreement says one thing. If I cheat, she gets everything. She cheats, I get everything. I just put a cheat clause in mine so I can separate liability. But again, that's important to me. The next thing is a corporation with a bunch of divisions. Next, we have to have an irrevocable trust because we're going to die. We have to plan to live, we plan to die. Again, then we have to look at the car. You drive a car today in your name. I'm sorry, when you get in a bumpity bump, they're going to sue you and take everything you got. The car should be registered to a division. From there, the house should be bought into a trust. See, your goal should have been escrow, close, homestead, trust, and most of you didn't do any of that. It should be bought to your irrevocable trust in the first place. All right, auto income. All right, cash flow, free my time. I put in my first book years ago, 46 years ago. A 1-hour blueprint with me is $999. All right, period. If you're in a coaching program, I do that part for free. Now, here's what's happened. All right, I have people since '87 that I'm coaching in programs, but they have $3 to $10 million to $100 million. And I had 31 millionaire clients, and I now have 29 billionaires as of about 2 months ago. So again, how far do you want to go? But you're not invited to this until you get past $1 or $2 million. Okay, you might never be invited because maybe I don't like you. Hell, not everybody likes me, and everybody likes you. But it's basically 6 in the morning on Saturdays and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we even do video conferencing too. Isn't that fun? So if you want to get one of the last 2 positions, I'm going to put you in a private coaching for 5 weeks. I'm going to do that blueprint call for you. I'm going to get you $25,000 in cash credit. I'm going to expedite your rapid refresh. Then if you don't have 9 divisions in a corp, I'll hand it to you for free. I put a double E, triple E there and get you to pay attention. If you have it, you don't need it. If you don't have it, here it is. From here, I want to put you in level 1, 2, 3 in specialty classes for 5 weeks. Why? Pretty simple. Now, Scott, our controller, says this is valued at $10,000. I think it's valued more. The office sells it for $4,999. Not a problem. Today, if it was done before I'm done talking, going blah, blah, blah with rules and tools, all right, you can basically get it for $29.99 if it was Zelle only. If it's not Zelle, don't worry, you're not going to get it for that price. I only had 3 left. I actually lost 1. All right, now I have 2 left. It's a today opportunity. If it's not done today, it's okay. If I have anything left tomorrow, the sales team will get you for $49.99. And they can't give you the discount because I got to pay them a commission. There's your Zelle. Now understand, you ever heard of Warren Buffett? When we all had a root beer float with him years ago, my goal was very simple. I said, I'm going to leave $1 million in my irrevocable trust. Everything else, my children are the officers of corporations. I incorporated every kid I have when they were born. I wanted to follow history. See, I'm not going to transfer an asset to my children. They're going to basically take over as a vice president to president so they control everything to be the puppet master. Mr. Buffett owns ketchup, Geico, and Coca-Cola. American Express Duracell. Dairy Queen sees candy. Do you see him selling candy or something? See, what he does is what I'm trying to get you to do. Bread Stewie for the loan. He's got over 100 companies. And he's got his favorite 10, he calls it. So what happens is he basically has what? They're ran by third party. I want you to play and win too, but that's up to you. So you get to play the game. Now, why I like a boring business. The payphones were fun until they came out with cell phones. I didn't do anything besides pay a payphone and have it installed, and this company would collect the money for me. Okay. The laundromats, the dry cleaning. Okay, that was fun. There were books on that too. Storage units. I don't want to run a business. I have a mission to change the world. That's my goal and that's my dream. For every, basically, when you do this and you invest money, and you take that basically a little bit of money, like $40,000, and you buy this entity, this franchise, whatever it might be, your income is about $10,000 a month. That's auto income. If you invest basically $100,000, it's about $45,000 a month. $250, it's about $75,000 a month. Right now, I can get you McDonald's for $250. They're doing $110,000 a month. All right, literally $3,000 a day. Isn't that fun? But again, it's up to you. Let's look at this apartment complex. You want to do real estate? Oh, goody. This is existing. It's all leased out. They want basically $3 million bucks. What are you going to do? See, they want 10% down. We're going to take it off of a line of credit, checkbook money. Now, what happens is you get a new loan. Okay. Now, what happens from here is you now have, all right, cash flow of $13,452. Here's your problem. You think you're done. You're never done. It takes one of those tenants to slip, fall, and sue you and screw you up, and everything you got is gone. There you go. Older, slower, and not as pretty as used to be. If you listen to me, we're going to dissect it. We're going to take and split each unit, assignment of mortgage. Now the income is $76,800. Now you also reverse liability. They can't sue you, but you can sue them if they don't pay. Isn't that the better way to do that? So all of a sudden, if we look at real estate, franchise, storage units, okay, a coaching package, 5 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. See, I believe, and this is where I got stuck with Wanda about 6 months ago. I said, Wanda, you went to the franchise trade show. What are you doing? I don't know. I said, stop. I got to the point, she's been my client for 20 years. I made her, Linda, and other people multimillionaires several times. They didn't do all the pieces I wanted them to do. I got to the point 6 months ago, I'm just going to go back to coaching and get them and lead them to the water, teach them how to drink, because I don't like silly. I don't like bringing the pain home. So now for the last 6 months, I've been coaching. We've hit $17 million for people and a bunch of franchises and pieces, and that's the goal. Here's a client that got this in Arizona. All right, $60,000 a month in the building too. See, storage units, you know, they hire this employment agency a lot of times, and they hire the people. They provide them. So you don't have to do anything besides let it maintain itself. You're an investor. Is that okay? How about 3 dry cleaners? How about a laundromat? How about we get that one and we turn it into a business for $5,000? Isn't that residual income? How about a Wendy's? How about a Jack in the Box? How about a gas station? How about these empty ones too? They're everywhere. Isn't that fun? Opportunity. So I took this one from yesterday. The property in that state, they want $85,75 down. How many would you like? Would you like an AutoZone? Would you like a McDonald's? Would you like a gas station? You see, this stuff's all over the place. So what do we have to do? First of all, we need our list. The goal list is the index of a book. Then we need the activity sheet. What happens is every coaching call, all right, I give you a little cheat sheet of what we talked about and your assignments for the next week. Then we talk again and again. We gradually accomplish the goal. Isn't that fun? All right, daily list, weekly list, and project list. The project list is the most difficult thing because it's a pain in the ass. But then what do? 3 months, 6 months, 12 months coaching. This year, your goal should be $5 million. That should be the goal, $5 million. Now, when we look at a 3 months coaching program, not the 5 weeks, 3 months, what happens is when you do that, we're going to line you up. All right, but you don't get your first unit yet. If you're in 6 months, you're lined up to get your first unit. From there, the 12 months, usually you're getting a couple units. These are all based on divisions. Now, understand, divisions allow multiple different functions based on the type of business. So our ultimate goal is to create residual income, what I always called auto income. Now, the thing is, you're stuck with me from beginning to end, all right, until we're done. All classes, rapid rescore, and calls with me, always live, and sometimes I do in Zoom too. Okay, so what happens is we're going to work on projections. We're going to work on daisy chaining of credit and limits increasing those as well. So what happens is if you got into this 6 months program or 3 or 12 months, here's 3 months, it's $8,000. In that 3 months program, that's $8,000, and I'm not taking payments ever again. I got tired of chasing money in the last 6 months, and I got 9 people that broke their promises, so I kicked them out of the program. Bye. Why should I have to chase money when I got them $20,000 to $30,000 of credit? They should be using that, all right, not basically taking advantage. So I kicked 9 people out. Very simple. $8,000, 3 months. But I'm going to build you $150,000 of credit. That alone is $15,000. From there, I'm going to give you basically 6 months, $15,000. But then I'm going to give you $300,000, which is usually $30,000. So in coaching, I give you all kinds of credit so I can build you up and away. If you want the 12 months program, it's $30,000. But I'm building you $600,000 of credit. These are things you Zelle a deposit if you want the last 2 places today. If not, then you missed out. You can always call the office tomorrow, the price is a little higher because they make a commission and everything else. If you want to upgrade from a 5-week to this, you can do as well. Bank transfer, deposit, or wire. So what are we looking to do? Everybody wants residual income. But every time I hear people talk, I listen, I always go, what about me? See, if I don't have value and I don't hold your hand personally from beginning to the middle to the end, how am I going to do this for you? Again, I got to make sure you don't screw this up. Got it so far? So what do? The banks, the grocery stores, the cities, Sam's Club, Geico, cities. So the ability to get past go, looking behind the curtain. All right, you got to stop bringing the pain home. All right, you have to understand what a certified CFO is. And you have to change your programming of your brain to millionaire status. That's the ultimate goal. I want everyone to start looking behind the curtain. They don't tend to do that. And I think that's the biggest mistake that they make. They don't look behind the curtain. All right. Hello, Will. Hello back. Right. I have taken the calls. Right. Fantastic. Okay. You are right on. Well, let's give the thanks to God and Jesus because he gave me the ability to do this. So thank you. I don't hear very much appreciation or thank yous very much anyway. But when they do, like Mike and other people, it's nice. But I always say give it to God. He gave me the ability to do this. I created, by looking behind the curtain, $2.6 billion at 26. Unfortunately, I was in a coma in 2009, and they stole my life. I had to rebuild it again. But I have my 3 divisions to me and my 5 closet divisions. I'm going to always look behind the curtain. I want you to do the same thing too. Stay safe, stay strong, do your best. God does the rest, amen to that too. So the ultimate goal for all of you, if you want to get in residual income, get into a coaching program with me. I have 2 positions available right now, and that's it. If you don't get those 2, you might have to wait till never, because I'm getting ready to go to our castle in Ireland between now and March. And our TV and radio show is going to, blast out. Rocket ship's going to happen as well. So your goal is going to be up to you. So thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you learned a couple things or 2. And if you allow me, I'll rebuild your life to million and some of you to billion as well. So we have to do one thing. Do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. And never forget at the end of the day, God loves us all.